Excuse me, Destiny. Do me a favor, Destiny. Put your head back a bit. I want to see her call me out. Call me out on what I said. I said your faith was weak, right? Right, let's go there. You want to go back in the past to embarrass yourself again?
Do you want to scream? Is this what you want? Let's go! We on the street!
On a whole, you might be an average person, but you're not going to perceive yourself that way because you push yourself forward in some areas that make you not average, and hopefully you're looking for other people that plug into those above average areas.
You know what? Can I just add on to that?
Okay, goodbye. Go. Okay, because...
Listen, how many bodies you got?
Oh my God! Get out! Get out! Get the f out of my apartment! Get out! Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Okay, hold on. Can I just, for my own safety?
What's a man's place?
A man's place is to look after me, make sure he's got my best interests at heart, and he has to make the final decision, which improves both of us. His final decision will always be in my benefit.
Mm-hmm. So when he's not there to look after you, who's looking after you?
I make sure that I've got a man. So any decision I make, even for me being on the podcast, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Because before I decided to come on the podcast, I asked his permission. People might think that's really strange. I said, what is your permission? What do you think about it? This is what I'm going to do. And there's certain things he didn't like. So I told Pearl, you know what? I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do whatever. And then we came to a conclusion. But the final decision is always his. And I trust him with it because he'll always have my best interests at heart. And I'm a trained mechanic.
And maybe that's because you've got a good man.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Hold on. Even if you have a good man, that sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe because I can't do what you just said. I can't. Because that's you putting all the trust.
I want to hear why.
Why would you need permit? Like, there might be boundaries within the relationship. So, for instance, like, I don't want you to do like a Pearl like strip show dance thing with like male strippers. Like, I can understand that because that's like boundaries of the relationship. But in terms of like, I need your permission to do a show because if your boyfriend or husband or whatever, if he's not like in this world, you probably know better than he does. Like, what's better for you? I'd imagine.
But the thing is, we're both not in this world. We both don't know about social media. He didn't, and it's blown up.
But you're in this world now, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I still had his permission, so there might be certain things that have developed since me being on the podcast that he doesn't agree with.
But how
so
do you know
I will
he's
cut
got your
them
best
back.
interest at heart?
I mean, if you pick a good guy, I mean,
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
But imagine if you didn't have a good guy. So
yeah,
all
this
the
is what
women
I'm
that are
trying to
trapped
say.
in abusive
Well, and also you
relationships,
never know if you have a good guy
actually
until you don't.
And can I just
to
say,
leave that.
don't you know yourself better than anyone?
No, not necessarily, because I'm human. I got bad things and I got good things. I'm just as bad as anybody else. And I will always take other people's opinions. And then when he says stuff, I don't always take it as hard as Pearl knows, because thanks to Pearl, sorted out a few problems where I've had to stop being stubborn.
But you've given another human authority over your decision making in life.
Yeah. Sorry, can I add something
power.
onto that? Auntie, what you said is the exact same situation with me. I have a fiance and I would not come up here unless I've spoken to him about it and he's actually agreed with it. So the only reason why I'm sitting here is because my fiance doesn't have a problem with me sitting here.
But can I ask you something, right? When you go out on the street, which a lot of people don't recognize, when you go out and you dress and you speak, who do you represent when you go out? As a woman in a relationship.
Your man, your husband.
Right. So when you're at school and you're in your uniform, you represent the school.
Yep.
When you go out as a child, you represent your parents.
Yep.
If you have a man, you represent your man.
Right.
You're a couple. So people are going to know that if he sees you on a podcast and you're doing God knows what, you're going to represent him. People are going to know that's so-and-so's woman.
Yep.
So you have to listen to him. You don't he doesn't tell me what to do, but I have to take his feelings into account.
Well, wait. Do you flip that? Do you flip that and to say, does he represent you as well when he's doing stuff?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Well, then do you have authority over him to give him permission to do stuff or not?
Yeah, certain things.
He won't do anything.
No, but
we discuss everything. It works both ways.
But you said you have your
But he has the
You have your place.
final decision.
It's not equal. You said
He
you
has
have your
the
place.
final decision.
Guys, we need one at a time. Auntie, finish your point.
Yeah, he has the final decision. If he's going to do something and he says, I'm going to do that, and I'm like, do you know what? I don't agree with that. Because it's been so long, 32 years and counting, because it's been so long, he will know that there must be a reason behind it that I don't agree with him. Now, he will either listen to me as I would do him, because I don't have to take everything he says as gospel. It's up to me whether to take it or not.
But you're
And
basing it
9
on
times out of
32
10,
years.
I will listen to him rather than listen to my
All right.
friends.
But look, what
Because
about us?
women
What
will
about
finally
most of
listen
us?
to their friends.
What about most of us that haven't had 32 years? And so are you saying that I've been with my man 2 years and I must, what he says goes? This is what my struggle is.
What I'm trying to say is
you've
that
been able to build that trust.
you
You've been
need-
able to know that he's got your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
You've been able to know that he has your right intentions. But most of us haven't had 32 years to practice all that.
Do you know
so
something?
I can't adopt your position.
And can I say something? Do you know something, right?
Yep.
You as a woman would know within the first 6 months
can't
whether
say
that
that.
man is for you.
I can't say that. I
Because
married a man
I
that
would know
didn't end up
whether
being the same man.
Me personally, I would know. I was a single parent, just like you. I was a single parent, and we split up. But when I met him back, he was a single parent. So I know that anything he says, if it jars in my heart, I have to think to myself, you know what, that don't feel right. Let me discuss it. But if I think to myself, I am not going to be at a detriment, then I'll go with it because it's not harming me. So if I think in my head as a woman that what he's saying doesn't benefit me or harms me, I will discuss it. And then, because it's not the fact that, oh, what he says goes. I will discuss it with him and I want to hear where he's coming from. Because, all right then, for instance, you've got a man and both of you have a favourite artist. And the favourite artist gives you 2 free tickets to go. And then your man looks at the ticket and says, you know what? You're not going. What would you do?
This conversation couldn't happen with my man anyway.
No.
Honestly, I think the modern relationship is way too. Let me say the modern relationship that I'm looking for is way too equal in terms of opinion and position. There's a conversation. It's about what's making me happy. And if it's taking my best friend to that concert, he wants to see me smile and he wants to see me happy. That's what's going to happen in that concert.
But you didn't answer the question.
So the question was,
I asked you, what would you do?
Is like when he asks you to do something that you don't want to do,
we're
or
talking,
to not go somewhere that you want to go to.
I will consider his feelings, but if it's in my best interest, I cannot put myself. The only man or the only being is God that can tell me by speech, by
But God
prayer,
always says-
Okay, so-
by whatever, by
doesn't-
message.
God says
what's-
obey your
Obey
husband.
your man. The man's
He's
the
my
head.
husband. This
The
is what I'm
man's
trying
the
to
head.
say. He's my man. He didn't put a ring on it.
But then
That's what I'm saying
you should
about.
be listening. You
I
should
can't
be with him until you put a ring on it.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is, if I'm a feminist, what does it mean for me as a single woman? That's what I'm trying to understand from this conversation.
Okay, so can I try to add a little bit of context on it? Because it's like so basically what they're saying is, okay, so yes, working, taking out the rubbish, doing all of these things are seen as masculinity, right? However, I don't think we're speaking in that regard because obviously these are things that have to be done. You have to take out the rubbish, you have to work, you have to do these things. But I think we're, especially as a single person, however, we're basically saying, but you're still a feminine. That doesn't make you masculine. What makes you masculine is when you're like, so let's put everything in context now. So I made the same statement as Auntie, right? So I'm going to put things into context. If I wanted to go shopping in Tesco's, for example, I don't need his permission,
right?
Because I'm going Tesco's and I'm doing food shopping. If somebody invites me to a club or some kind of event, then I need to sit down and speak to him and explain to him where I'm going, what type of event it is, what kind of people are there. All right, let's say, for example, I put an outfit on and I put on a short dress and my breasts are revealing, okay? Now, if he says to me, you look nice, babe, go out and have a good time. As soon as he's finished that sentence, me and him are done. Because I can't be with a guy like that. To me, that's a simp, okay? So if my man or my husband says to me, you need to go back and you need to change because what you're wearing is inappropriate. Now, look, a lot of people will be like, no, why I can wear what I want if I want to wear, but you're not thinking because if you're going out with your husband, right? And you go to a club or a place and you're wearing a short skirt and your breasts are out, there's a huge possibility that you're going to put your husband in a situation.
No, but he's next to me. My man is next to me.
Okay, wait, let me land.
When you're talking,
Let me land. Okay, so for example, my fiance, right? If me and him went out to a place and he wouldn't let me wear that anyway in the first place, but let's say he did, and we went out to a place, right? And a guy comes and taps my bum.
But why would he do that?
Because they do that.
Well, because I'm wearing a short skirt.
Yes,
they do that.
Yes, I've seen that many times.
But you can also do that in jeans too, right?
Yeah, but
still,
it's less likely.
if it's less likely, right? And if he does do that,
If I had a BBL, you will tap my ass.
Not necessarily, but look. We have to go by intentions. If I come to a place and I'm properly covered up, jeans, and a guy does that, he's getting smoked, right? There's no ifs or buts about it because this girl is respecting herself. She's dressed up nicely, and you've come out of your way, yeah, and you've slapped her ass. Now, my fiance, if he was with me, right, and somebody did that, there's a huge possibility he's going to jail for life.
But then you're wearing tight jeans. Why not wear this one long skirt in it? If you're going to do
You can
modest,
wear-
if you're
yeah,
going
you
to do
can-
what modest,
you can wear a long
do what
skirt.
modest then.
Yeah, you can
what
do-
no
you can do-
curves, no
you-
nothing.
you can
That's what
do
you
a-
should do then, because
No,
you're
wait.
calling for it also with the little tightness. The
No.
little,
Okay, wait, getting away
Look.
from the clothes. Hold on, getting away from the clothes. You guys, this is what I'm so confused about. And Auntie, you kind of did it and then walked to a more agreeable area. You guys talk about things that are basic relationship norms, but you like frame them in the most toxic way possible. I don't understand. So you talk about like, if I'm going to wear something and go out to a club,
Yeah.
my boyfriend, my husband, whatever, is going to approve of it, which it, to some extent, like can make sense in a relationship context. But if you flip that around, if your boyfriend or husband says, I'm going to go out to party, and there's like, 10 girls there and like 2 guys, I imagine you'd have to okay that, right? You'd have to tell him whether or not you give him permission to do that, no?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys frame these things like my husband is the ultimate authority and blah, blah, blah. But that's not true. For all of you guys, it's a back and forth. Like, you're going to be okaying what he does. He's going to be okaying what you do. That has nothing to do with masculinity or femininity or anything like that. That's just like 2 adults having a relationship, figuring out what the boundaries are.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what do you mean by your place when you say auntie? Because what Destiny's saying that it is an equal exchange of looking out for each other. No, I think when I
Well, with me, I'm different because if I'm going to wear a short skirt and something sexy, I'm always going to wear it with my man. Mostly I wear it at home, but if I want to go out and I say to him, what do you think about this? And do you know what? What Destiny said, what we've been saying is just normal respect for each other. And I respect him and his decisions and his opinions, and he will respect mine. So it's not like I'm blindly following where he wants to go, because if he wanted to go somewhere or talk to certain people, like I've said to him in the past, you know what? I don't like your friends. And as a man, I will say, I'm not going to say don't go out with them. I'm saying this, watch out for this. This is what I spotted. This, and this. And I'll let him go ahead. And eventually he will know, you know what? You were right. So it's just about respect. But I find that these modern people now, they don't have the basic respect for each other in the
100.
relationship.
So what happens in
100.
lesbian relationships then?
I don't know.
Well, again, like I think to be clear, everything that was said,
the man says,
everything that was said is fine for relationships. There's not like a masculine, feminine. Like when you started talking about, you're going to talk to your partner, you're going to make sure that they understand where you're coming from. Hopefully, you love each other and you know each other. Hopefully, you both have each other's best interests at heart, and then you advise
But
on
I
that.
just
And
think
that's
at the end of the day, someone wears the pants. Like someone's leading and someone's following.
It's
like
no.
and sometimes
That's
and sometimes it's reversed. But at some point, like you have to trust someone's leadership.
that it's going to depend on the domain that you guys are experts in, right? So you said you were a mechanic, right? So I'm guessing that traditionally men are going to have the say over the car because men tend to know. But I'm guessing you probably know more than your husband does, right? If he comes back with a 50-pound bill for blinker fluid, you're probably going to
But you know something?
you're probably going to make fun of him, right?
But you know something, right? As Pearl knows, and as you most probably know, yes, I'm a mechanic. But he's more stable-minded than me. And as you know from the shit car that I picked you up in, right? Because I must have been having a blind, non-mechanic, feminine moment where I just went in and asked for the cheapest car with 4 doors, and you saw it. The car's a piece of shit. It's for somebody single. It's not for somebody that's got 3 grandchildren, because 3 grandchildren mean fills the car. But whereas he hasn't seen the car yet because I didn't discuss it with him, and he's going to look at me and say, why did you get that car? Yes, I could take it back, but I've decided to punish myself for being such a stupid woman and choosing such a stupid car when I was feeling in my most feminine moment. So yeah, I can do that. But whereas, even though I'm a trained mechanic, my nails, and there's certain things that he will do in the car. No, I won't say that. Most of the things he will do. I always say your brake light needs doing, but he expects me to do the brake light because I'm trained to do just the brake light.
I'm just saying that in every relationship, like both sides are going to know more things than the other side. Like, so there are going to be some things where the husband is going to have like the grand authority, but not because he's the man, but just because that's the stuff that he knows about.
Can I say something?
Sometimes the woman has like the authority because she knows about. Like,
I agree with you, but the last decision, you see, with me, we would discuss stuff. And I will say this and he will say that. And then I might be right. And he'll say, you know what, go with you. Or he might be right and I'll say, go with you. But if we come to a stalemate, I will say, you know what? We're going to go with you because the decision is all yours. Because if the shit hits the fan, me as a bitch woman, I will say, you know what? You made that decision. So the final decision is always his. Whether he agrees with me or whether I agree with him, I prefer the final decision to be his because he has to deal with it.
I just think personally, the ideal situation is when you're with a guy that you can trust his decision making. And I think the girls that I see where they wear the pants in the relationship, they're miserable. Oh my God, they're miserable.
It just depends on the thing. There are plenty of women where guys wear the pants and they're miserable too. There are lots of people in miserable relationships.
Does it happen both ways? Sure, at times. I've just seen. I think that when women wear the pants, they're miserable.
Do you know something? Right.
What I don't understand in relationship, can I just say, why does someone have to wear the pants? Why can't we make decisions together? Why can't we make decisions together? Like he said, if you have more expertise in that field, say, okay, like if I'm trying to make a decision with my man now. I know about properties, right? Say he doesn't know anything about properties. I'm going to be like, oh, babe, because I've bought a property, this is what I'm going to tell you. And because he's probably, like, men know more about cars. I don't know about cars. I will never tell my man anything about cars because I assume because men seem to know more about cars, and if he has a nice car, he's been driving for a long time, I'm going to think, you know what? That's his field. Why does it have to be someone wear the pants?
Do you know something, right? That's what women fail to understand. When they hear about a submissive woman, do I look like a woman that just does what her man says? No. I want to take, for instance, you. My man is a saver. I like to invest in property. He has got more money in the bank than me. I have got more properties than him. And even when it come to getting properties, he was a saver. He was like, no, we need to save money, whatever. And I was like, this is what I think. You know what he said? Go with it. Do you know what? I was right. It doesn't make a difference because he made the final decision. Because a selfish man, a man that just wants to feel all full of himself, will just go with what he wants. And we're not talking about the lady in the red coat. I'm sorry. We're not talking about that. We're talking about where you've got a man that leads, and a proper man. When you've got a man that you can trust, he will take into account what you said. He will take into account what he says, and he will weigh up the pros and cons, and he will come out with the best decision for you. Whether it means you side with him or whether it means it sides with you. And if he's not sure, he will either say, you know what? If he's a stubborn, big-headed, bullish man, he will say, you know what? My name rules, so I'm going to go. No, when I was talking about buying a property, my man didn't agree with me. And I explained, you know what? This. But it seemed like an impossibility to him in his mind as a natural saver. But he was like, do you know what? Go for it. Now we've got the properties. He's got the money. I haven't got no money. If I need money, I'll go to him. But on paper, I've got more money. But in reality, he's got more cash. So you just don't go with a man just because a lot of women think that, oh, I might know more about this, but he's the man, so he has to make the final decision. That's lack of respect. If a man respects you, he will take into account your decisions, your research, your qualifications before he makes the final decision. And if a man is going to go with all your knowledge, all your experience, all your decision making, and what you've been doing for a lifetime and go against it.
But don't you think
he's not the right man?
Don't you think you're talking about skills in a man that is a man that has lived, a man that's matured, a man that has had relationships, learned about himself and others? We're talking about men in their 20s and 30s that have yet to become.
Exactly. And I think
so we cannot have the same attitude at all. You're talking generationally completely different.
I think
the value base is completely different. The way that they are raised are different. Your expectations for our 2023 men that have been raised with sometimes very little foundation, you're expecting so much for them to have all of these qualities that your man of X years and X age and big age are having. I don't think they can be compared.
I think the point is to pick a good man that you can trust.
100%. But I'm talking about, we're here now. Okay. We're here trying to find this good man. But in the Mecca, we're like, oh no, the nonsense is happening.
Listen. Hold on. I've been listening to, I haven't even said nothing for ages. Yeah, like at the end of the day, it comes down to who you pick.
Yeah, 100%.
It comes down to who you pick. So you can say all of this. Oh yeah. Oh, we're trying to find these good men. At what age are you trying to find these good men?
And where are you trying to find them?
Can I say something, King Riches?
Yeah.
Right. You're saying about picking. The problem that I find nowadays is that the women's picking. Don't let the women pick. The men's supposed to pick.
Yeah, that's
no.
What I'm
hold on. The problem is that
to pick.
It's what Camilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is at 25 there are no men like this. Okay. If you're a 22-year-old woman, you're not going to find a 25-year-old guy that's ready to take charge and lead everything.
That's not true.
That's not true. That is absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
No.
I'm so sorry.
No.
I know there are a lot of children on this panel, but you're not going to find a 25-year-old guy that has all of it. When the average kid gets out of school today at like 22, 23 years old.
Not in England.
You thinking when in England you finish college?
But 18?
No, you don't. University?
University 25.
University. I'm sorry. We call it different things in America. Yeah. If in university, if you finish that at 20 to 23, there's no way.
21.
21.
That's if you do a full degree.
There's no way.
Mature students, you can
At 24, 25, as a man, you are not going to have all the faculty that you will when you reach 30, 35. You don't have that lived experience yet to know what it's like to lead a household, to live a life, to exist in like the world, and to navigate it in a responsible way.
I disagree with you.
I think it's so funny that you guys are the first ones to say that we have too high expectations, and then come and tell us that we're not picking the right men and that we're just picking irresponsible men. Let's see this dichotomy.
You could date an older guy if you think that you need a 35-year-old guy. Go date one.
Fix.
You could.
It's a quick fix.
Nah, I'm all right.
Come on,
but what if we're not attracted to older men?
What did you say?
I want a young man just like myself, so we can relate together. Again, like I don't want a leader.
So relate and struggle then.
You guys keep talking about how you need a man to lead.
Yeah.
I already know myself. I'm an adult. You know, I've spent a lot of time with myself. I'm in tune with myself. What I want is partnership.
Yes, my love.
I want a man that we can actually share experiences together rather than a leader.
Yeah, I think the problem is when I listen to Pearl and Riches and Auntie, a little bit, mainly you two guys, it feels like you guys are saying that women need to look for fathers. That's what I hear.
I ain't looking for no daddy.
Can I just say something? When I met my man, we were both in our 20s.
Thank you.
But in the
we're both in our 20s.
Right. In the 80s.
And the thing is, it's in the 80s. But if you had the same standards now, which I have met some really good young men
100%.
that had the same standards as my man have. But you know what? The women don't want them because they're average men.
Well, all your videos, everybody's videos.
The women want above average.
Auntie, can I add something to that?
The women want above. When I met my man, I was average, he was average. He was sexy as hell and all the young girls wanted him. Do you know what I mean? But we were both average people. And he was always sensible from
you're
from
sounding
young.
like I need to settle. Why can't I want amazing?
No.
Why do I not deserve
but this is the thing. This is the thing.
Why do I not deserve it?
Hold on.
You can want what you want, but can you get it?
Can I tell you something, right? My man is amazing. He's always been amazing. He was amazing when I'm older than him. He was amazing when he was young.
That was a bit shady, pal.
And he was amazing old.
Shady. It's like, it's like, well, like, why aren't they perfect? It's like,
I didn't say perfect, but it's like everybody's saying I need to have it as average. Why? I ain't average. I am not average. I'm going to let you know now.
What makes you not average?
Because if I look at my age mates, my successes, my achievements, my personality, my drive, my motivation is unmatched.
Can I just say something for once? Are you a single parent?
I am a single
You're
parent.
average. I'm average. I'm average.
Can you ask me why I was a single parent? No, can you ask me why I'm a single parent? I'm a divorcee first. I'm a divorcee from a man.
I was a single parent.
But you assume why I'm a single parent. You think I just woke up and I bred and I'm a single mum. That's not how it happened.
I'm not assuming
I did all that. I dated. I had my child in wedlock. I did all that.
What we were saying before.
Because sometimes, as a single parent, because you've been in the relationship, you've been there before, you've got different expectations.
No, I'm saying I didn't start as a single parent. I met my husband and I had a child.
Nobody meets as a single parent.
I really don't like the way you guys assume things about single parents.
My man was a single parent. So I'm not just going against the women. My man was a single parent too. My mum was also a single parent.
So does that make her average because she's a single parent?
Guys, why is average an insult?
What is so wrong with being average?
I ain't here to be average.
Guys,
can I add something?
Wait. There's how many people in here? 8? Most of us are average. Most people are average.
Can I say something?
And when you talk about drive, that's not things that men look for.
I'm not looking for what men's looking for. I'm looking for what I'm looking for. This is the problem.
Okay, so when you speak about average, right? Because remember, everything we speak about needs to be within context.
Definitely.
Okay, so when you spoke, you said compared to my peers, right?
Yeah.
So
my age mates.
So maybe compared to your peers, you may not be average.
But that's what that was my evidence of why I'm not average.
However, if we go to another context, right, and then we compare you to people like Rihanna, Beyonce,
who are 1 in 9 billion.
Hang on, right?
Because you're not. We can't compare.
1 second, you can, because I'll tell you why. Let me explain why. Right? When you meet a guy, right, you can be very pretty, you could be very attractive, you could be like all of these things, right? But he will still look at you as average because. Look, there's always it depends what you compare the average with. Okay, so like you said with your peers, you can apply that to that. But if you apply average on a larger scale, okay, where people are millionaires, people are mad famous, millions of followers, they all look at you as average compared to that person. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Percentages, though.
No, but we have to look overall because you got to remember people are being brainwashed out here. They're looking at Rihanna, they're looking at Beyonce, they're looking at all of these people.
With this? The whole thing is
if you don't mind, can I just finish what I was saying? So that's the first thing I was going to say. It's in context, right? Who you're comparing yourself to, because nowadays guys are looking for girls. The majority of guys, because look, I'm a woman, right? But all my life, I'm hood. All my friends are savages. They're all roadman. I don't chill with girls. I've got one female that's my friend. All my friends are males, so I hear them when they speak. This younger generation, a lot of them are actually looking for girls with money. That's what they want. Girls with money, girls with cars, girls with that's how they're thinking now. Their thinking is completely different. So a normal basic 9 to 5 working person or working class or whatever is average to them. It's average because they're seeing these things every day. So that's the first point I wanted to make, right? The second point I wanted to make is people are like, oh, the man should be in control. The man's you have to listen to the man and the man's got the power. But really and truly, right? If you're married, right, or you're in a serious relationship with a man, you're the one that's in control. You're the one that's in power. And I'll tell you why. Because when your husband respects you, right, he'll do anything for you. You ring him and say to him, look, I need milk. He's dropping everything and he's coming, he's bringing milk. If you ring him and say to him, I need this, or something's happened, or he's coming running straight for you. So really, you're actually in control. As long as there's respect there, right, and there's the love there, and you're playing your role and he's playing his role. They say that a woman is the neck to a man's head. So you can turn his head whichever way you want to turn his head. You just got to know how to.
What were you going to say? You want to say something?
I really hate how being a single mother diminishes your value as a human being. How you can go from a 10, suddenly everyone's like, oh, now you're a 5 because you're single. That says nothing about who you are as a person. That says nothing about your mastery, about your talent, about the discipline that it takes to get you there. But now because somebody, because somebody now has disrespected,
that don't matter, bro.
Something has happened in her life.
That don't matter, bro.
Now they're a 5.
That don't matter.
That's such a shallow way to look at life.
Listen. At the end of the day, yeah. You have to just respect what the market wants.
What?
At the end of the day...
Do you know how much man want a single mom?
Let me just finish because I'll let you lot talk.
Do your thing.
I will do my thing. Yeah? At the end of the day, if you don't care what the market wants and you talk and you tell yourself, oh, I'm not average, bro. Like, you're just going to continue losing, bruv. You should maybe understand the market. Guess what? Coca-Cola understands its market. That's why Coca-Cola is successful, bruv. So you can be deluded and think I'm a 10 and this because I'm got money and I went to this school and blah blah blah. Like I do these podcasts, the same thing. And these women come and say the same thing because I went to this school and I've got money, but the market does not care about that. Yeah, and I'm sorry to say, like you're saying, oh, but single mother diminishing who you are as a person. No, you could be a great person and be a single mother. You can be an excellent person, but at the end of the day, the market, for the most part, is not going to want to couple up.
What market? It depends.
What do you mean the market?
It depends what market.
Men's the market.
What's the market? You're not my market. The man in his 40s.
Men. I said men.
He's not my market.
I said men.
Guys,
one conversation. Thank you.
And it says something about your decision making if you become a single mother.
Are you all right?
Do you know
why I became a single mother?
Disagree. Yeah,
That's uncalled for. You don't know what I experienced. You don't know what I experienced as a married woman to make a choice to be a single mother.
It's either you don't pick the right guys.
Oh,
it's something about your decision making. Right. Maybe you don't pick the right guys.
So abusive women that choose lovely, amazing men that just decide to be physically abusive because I chose that. Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Say that again.
So I chose to be a single divorcee because of an individual's choice to be violent. Is that what you're saying?
It was your choice to get in a relationship with him.
Oh, because I didn't see his psyche.
It's like life turns out better if you take accountability for your choices. Sometimes.
What accountability are we putting on the man?
I disagree.
The abusive man made her the single mother. So where is the accountability for him?
An abusive man, he's wrong. I agree with you. But where do we take accountability for the fact of like you pick the men? So maybe.
Sorry, Pearl. Can I have to say I disagree with you there. I definitely disagree with you there, and I'll tell you why. Look, I'm 38. I'm not a young girl. I've been married and I've been divorced. I've got experience. I've had a kid. You know, I've been there. I've done that. So if somebody gets married at a young age, right, they're young, right? So they're not that clued. Right. Look, let me start from the. We always talk about a problem, but we never ever get to the core of why that problem occurs.
But everybody's young.
So
everyone's young.
No, wait. As a young girl, I'm sure you'll all agree with me, okay? As a young girl, we are brainwashed. We are sold a fairy tale, right? We are all thinking, oh, we're going to wear this white dress and we're going to get married and we're going to be in love. No, we shouldn't have been taught that. We should have been taught the realness. Marriage is very hard. It's a struggle. You got to make sure you know who you're marrying. Look, and also people change over time. Somebody, you can marry them, and when you married them, they were okay. And over time, gradually, they got mental breakdown. They became a psychopath. They became antisocial.
But again, we all grew up in the same society, and people have different outcomes based on their choices. So if you make a choice,
sorry, can I finish what I'm saying? I think what you're saying, everything that we say has to be within context. You know, some people might get married and the husband dies, and they become a single mother. You know, there's
but we're not talking about exceptions. We're talking about the rule. Are the majority of single mothers widows? No.
But does it go the other way? Does men's value diminish when they become?
No, it doesn't. No, because they can just get up and they can go and remarry.
Personally, for me personally, I'm not into the guys with kids. That's not my thing. But in general, no. I mean, most guys I know that have kids say it helps them in dating. Girls like it.
A guy can just get up and start all over again. He can literally.
So there's no accountability when it comes to men, but as soon as
it's not about accountability. It's about outcomes. Like what outcomes do you get? And the outcome is that single mothers have a harder time in dating than single women.
That's the outcome.
And the outcome for men is oftentimes when men, not always, but oftentimes when men have kids, their outcomes are better. They get more girls because women like to see a guy that can take care of a kid. It signals to us that like. You know, again, it's not my thing also, personally.
Can I add on to that? Because I'm single mother, but I'm engaged. I'm getting married. However, before I got engaged, and it was me and my child. It is so the guy, he can just literally leave and go and start a whole new life, remarry, have a kid. You, however, he's not going to take that kid with him. That woman doesn't have to worry about that child. You're the one who's going to keep that child with you 24/7. So if you try to decide to date, right, it's not as simple. You can't just go out and date. You got to think about your child, especially if it's a little girl or a boy. You got to know who you're bringing to your house. You got to know who you're bringing around your child. And then, like, say for example, you're like, even when you're married, it's the child's own father. He starts to get jealous of that child. He'll start telling you, "Oh, I'm not getting any time anymore." So how do you think a guy who's not even the father of that child is going to feel?
Would you want your brother to date a single mother over a single woman?
Okay, hold on. All else equal, everybody wants a person without a child versus a person with a child. That's going to be true, all else equal. The reason why men tend to get away with it more than women is because women are often the ones taking care of the kid. Now, you might think in your mind, well, I know some single dads are really successful, but single dads that fight for custody is already a minority of a minority. So you're already probably selecting for pretty successful guys. So I think
single dads, say that again?
Single dads that are fighting for custody of kids or can take care of their kids, you're already selecting for a pretty rare guy.
Yeah, right, because they don't typically win.
No, because they don't typically fight for it. They usually just cut and run.
But the reason is, like, I've talked to different attorneys about this, and the reason most attorneys will tell guys not to fight for custody because it's so expensive.
No, they won't. I've talked to the lead attorney too. They tell them not to fight because oftentimes they won't win. Because when a court is trying to figure out who's going to get custody of the kid,
it's very expensive. And a lot of times it's like, do you want to waste your life savings when you're most likely are not going to win?
No. None of this is true. Okay, hold on. You can look up all the numbers and all the stuff if you want. The reason why men typically don't fight is because one, because if they fight and they're in a bad place to win because they haven't been taking care of the kid, they're not going to have a good outcome from the judge. When the judge is looking, let me finish this point yet. When the judge is looking at who gets custody, it's not about who puts up the better defense in court, who's got the more expensive lawyer. It's who spent most time with the child. So if the mom has spent 95% of the time with the kid, doesn't matter how much you pay to a lawyer, you're not going to win custody.
She would do it. She's a housewife.
When men do fight for custody, they win 60% of the time.
But the problem is, like, women can make it so the dad doesn't even see the kid and then go to court and then say
whose fault is that? Wait, hold on. Wait, no, wait, stop. Hold on. You just went on a whole spiel about take accountability for your decisions, blah, 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 and now you're saying what? Is the mom playing hide and go seek with the kid?
What do you
take
mean?
accountability?
What do you mean when you say the wife has made it so the husband can't take care of the kid?
Well, you've never heard of cases where women don't let the dad see the kid.
Hold on. Wait. Earlier you said we weren't going to talk about exceptions. You want to talk about the rules. So don't give me the hide and go seek with the kid.
It's more common than you think.
You're still, you see how you're being snaky there when you say that? It's more common than you think? How often do you think a mom is hiding the kid from the husband? Give me a percentage.
What percentage? That's a good question. I don't know.
Because in the UK, if that be the case, and I work in the industry, it's $275 to get a C101 application to go to the court for contact for your child. It isn't what it is in America. It's very easy. I can go out and do a bottle for $275. So I don't want to hear that excuse because I can go to court and police can turn up at my door if I go against that order. That's what I'm trying to say. So all this expensive thing.
What is the most expensive bad? It's child custody.
The most expensive thing is the most expensive. The most expensive thing is taking care of the kid. That's the most expensive thing.
Can I just say something? Can I say something?
I think Auntie's been wanting to talk for a second.
I've had my hand up for so long.
Go ahead.
Right, and I just want to say a few things. I was picked. I was in a relationship. It was abusive. And nobody can't tell me that with hindsight, you can't see that there's loads of red flags. So when he asked me to marry him and I said, no, if he was the last man on earth, I won't marry you. I saved myself from getting married and getting stuck in a relationship. So yes, I was a single parent whose dad, the child's dad asked me to marry him. And I thought about it and I thought, not on your life. And actually said, if you were the last man on earth, I won't marry you. That's the last thing I remembered. I was that cold on the floor. You know why? Because I couldn't imagine myself. My mum and dad were married. And I thought to myself, this guy picked me. I never picked him. This guy picked me. I fell in love, got into a relationship. It was abusive. And I thought to myself, the last thing I need is to get married and tied to this man forever. So, if I knew that there were red flags before, I could have turned around and said, oh yeah, you know what I mean? I want to get married. He proposed to me, had the ring, one knee, everything. I could have said, yeah. Then I would have been stuck in an abusive relationship as a married woman. And then I would have got divorced and still been a single woman who'd been married before in an abusive relationship. But I decided no. So too many women out there, they think, you know what? That will go by. They see a red flag. Oh, that's nothing. They see this. That was nothing. And then they go along with the, oh, yeah, let's get married. Now, I could have gone along with it. Everybody was like, yeah, on the outside, you used to together. It's working. He drops you shopping. He picks you up. He takes you here. He takes you there. But I knew in my heart that he was abusive. Nobody couldn't see it. And I decided that rather than get caught up in the great big wedding thing, knock it on its head. So when women are talking about they're not average, as a single parent, I had to be different. I had to stop going out there and thinking to yourself, you know what? I need a man. I didn't need a man. I know what I needed to do. I made the choice. I needed to look after my child. I needed to make sure I didn't have any more children. I needed to make sure that I become a positive role model for him and make sure that he had male mentors out there. So much so that eventually when I got back to the first man that I was in love with, by the time we got back together again, he was a single parent. He was willing to take me as a single parent. And I took him as a single parent. So as far as I'm concerned, don't go out. If you're a single parent, look for other single parents. If you can't find no one that you trust, that you can hand over to, single parents unite. single men who are parents, go out with single women who are parents. Because the women who are out there now, nobody wants to be average. Everybody wants to be above average. But you know what? I'm average. This is who I am. I've met somebody average. We got on great. And it works. I don't want to find someone with a fancy car. When I met him, he never wasn't even driving. Eventually got a fancy car, and I got it to drive. He gave it to me. But you don't hang your hat too high. Women out there, and they're average. Makeup don't make you more than average. Intelligence don't make you more than average. Education don't make you more than average. The clothes that you wear don't make you more than average. The podcasts you go on to do not make you more than average. It makes you popular. I'm talking. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. I can't expand if I don't finish talking. Look, because I'm English. I'm Caribbean. I'm not African. So shut up and let me finish. When I finish talking, I've been sitting here. Africans are the best, my ass.
You're gonna get high blood pressure.
If Africans were the best, they wouldn't be on here talking bullshit. Speak for yourself. Say that you are the best.
Relax. I'm not with that. I'm not with that.
Somebody have tea. Hang on a minute. Listen, Rocky Witches, right?
I'm not listening.
You're being ignorant.
Guys. Okay, guys, wait, stop. Michael, stop. Okay, 30 seconds, then Michael, you can go.
I'm talking, she's talking. Look at me and look at her. You're going to tell me
30,
Africans are the best.
Okay, wait.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Make sense out of nonsense.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
So you said look at you as in you, and then look at me as in me. You're saying single mums are average, right? And then you're a single mum, and you're a lot older than me, and you're saying look at you and look at me. Seriously, auntie. Are we going to be realistic right now?
Africans are the best, right? Africans are the best, right? You're going to put yourself up against me. Now, I was asking Richie. Hang on. I was asking Riches.
King Riches.
Sorry, I don't know.
Say it properly. King Richard, the African man.
Esther, wait. Okay.
That's a violation. Don't disrespect African people. No one has ever disrespected
you're disrespecting African people.
No, I'm not. You
are disrespecting African people. I don't disrespect African people.
Because you are not African.
He is here saying that African people are the best, right? I'm not disputing his point of view. I'm going by what's on the stage. And I'm saying, look at you. Right, with your knowledge and your Africanness, and look at me, and you're going to tell me that Africans are the best. I'm not saying that what he's saying is wrong. I'm saying that talk about what we've got here. Talk about the sense. Talk about the brain work. Talk about the educational and the professional speaking.
Okay, we have heard.
Come on.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to take a second to read super chats. I'm sorry. Okay, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And especially that is the most important metric that YouTube uses to push out this content. So, Say and Steer, Dysphoria Wars UK, NSK, Destiny misquoted the lead attorney. Pearl is right. I watched that entire stream, plus others for the lead attorney where he breaks it down. Go watch the lead attorney for specifics. Saint Steer, have them shed their ego. Auntie, Steve, why are you listening to the chick with the blue hair about masculinity? It's all Jeram's fault. Sipping on sweet, delicious single mother tears. JB Quinnen, the fragile rock is dispensing misinformation. See Dumbledore. Destiny, you are clueless as a top 1% man who also has a Juris Doctor and has spent well over $150,000 in court fees over my kids. You have no idea how family law works. Pray that you never find out. Caleb, it's obvious Pearl goes whenever Destiny is getting a banger clip to distract people. Alexandria Rubio, wrong, I lost my son. Destiny is wrong. KCF Sack, single mothers always blame men, never self-respect. Nico, can y'all please stop talking and bring on Ice Spice Zestiny in the house and no Ice Spice? Y'all are a munch. Where is she? QB Quinnen, the energy is only attractive for a corporation, HR, supervision, anything that's paradoxical to the role of man. See Dumbledore, tell me you're a loser without telling me you're a loser. Single mothers, hold my beer. House phone, it's good to see Destiny finally embracing British culture. He looks so happy that he sat on the couch. I bet he's rethinking all the bad things he's said about us now. You got beef with British people?
You said we can't. You're not even British. Fuck off.
No, I'm asking the question.
I'm gonna be honest.
I didn't know.
I walked around today, and as soon as I heard someone say the word Tuesday, I wanted to fly the fuck back home. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Look, I'm trying to get out of this country too.
I'm just kidding. I love my British brothers and sisters.
No offense. JB Quinnen, nobody wants a workaholic ass boss chick. That's the equivalent to y'all wanting a sassy man. See Dumbledore. An angry middle-aged single mother divorcee is above average. Is there in what way? Jay Queenan, being overweight as a woman makes you average in the dating market no matter how you feel. Chipotle, can the granny let the other guests talk? The granny hasn't had one good point so far. Marcus B, the distinction between men and women when going out is men approach women, so a man going out won't be approached the same way a woman will be. Mm-hmm. Saint Serge, look at KR just waiting to cook. Chipotle, KN, big name in the building. Destiny is Vosh, friend or foe. House phone, does this channel have members and mods? Yes, we do. Sign up. Corin, Auntie, stop taking oh, this was from earlier. Okay, so next question. Okay.
I didn't get to say nothing.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then after him, can I just add something on really quickly?
Okay. Go ahead, Michael.
All right, so is this mic even working? I don't even know.
It does. We can hear you.
All right, so basically, like, the reason why I said Africans are the best, because, like, at the end of the day, in that little back and forth, you said something along the lines of, oh, yeah, you're African, don't tell me nothing, I'm Caribbean, and I'm going to finish what I'm saying. And the way you said it, it came across offensive, innit?
I didn't say that.
You said something along the lines, not word for word, but something along them lines, and that's why I said Africa's the best. I didn't say it in a way as putting down Caribbeans, but I said it as like a stop, so that like we would actually start to think about what we're saying, and then it just went all mad from there. But at the end of the day, like, I just feel like people just say a lot of stuff and just need to think about what they're saying.
When they rewind it, they will say I didn't say African. I didn't say anything about Africans.
No, that's not what I said. No, you're not listening. I said that you said you are African. No, I never said that. Did you hear what I just said?
Go ahead.
No, but did you hear what I just said?
Repeat it, just in case I got it wrong. Go ahead.
You did obviously get it wrong.
Explain again then, so I'll get it right.
Oh, I don't know what your energy's about. Really,
because you keep on calling me bro. I'm a woman. I've not got balls. You might think I am, but I ain't. So I'm asking you. I didn't understand what you said in the first place.
Oh, you're
so
just hyped for no reason. You're just hyped for no reason.
Explain it to me again.
You're too hyped. To be honest, I think honestly, and I won't call you bro ever again. I think honestly that you're too hyped for no reason, bro. To be honest, like, you're just hyped for no reason.
And your proof is?
Well, everyone can rewind and watch it and see you just hyped.
Okay, wait, hold on. I think he said something. It sounded like you were disrespecting him for being African. And he's like, Africans are the best, not to shit on you for being Caribbean, but because he wanted to like stop that train of thought. I think that's what happened. There was a misunderstanding.
He misunderstood what I said.
I think there was
when he said that Africans are the best, I thought, why is he coming about that? Because I never mentioned
you were attacking him on that. But I think,
my best friends are African.
I just want to talk about.
I just want to talk about. That don't mean
white people.
So I have another. We like Africans and Caribbean. Everyone's cool. Okay.
And white people.
Yeah, white people too. You know, everyone.
Thank you.
I just think everyone needs to just be careful how you speak, because people will take offense. Like, if you say things in a certain type of way or anything like that, people will take offense.
Especially Caribbean people.
Maybe people need to listen carefully.
No. Everyone needs to be careful what they say.
They need to be careful.
Be careful what you say, man.
Disagree.
Please, can I just say?
Nah, because I don't know, can't overpower me.
Listen, we're not going to that last time. This is a different podcast, Esther. Get over it. Get over yourself, Esther. This is a different podcast. Stop bringing up the past. Stop bringing up the past. Move on, Esther. Another day, another podcast. Move on.
Auntie, okay.
Please.
Okay. I'm going to give her a chance to respond just because you've talked a lot. Do you want to say?
Thank you. Yeah, so what I was just trying to say is, Auntie,
can you speak on the mic here?
Is she muted?
I think her microphone might be off.
Is she muted?
Oh, can you not hear me?
Okay, there you go.
I think, Auntie, you seem to have a pattern in which you say things and not realize what you've said. because that's what you did to me last time. I don't think you even realized, because I think you said something about faith or whatever. I'm not going to bring it back.
Oh, no.
But the point is, because it's happened before, I think you don't realize that it's what you're doing. So I'm not even calling you out right now. I'm just saying, maybe just be careful.
Call me out.
And if people...
Call me out, Esther. Excuse me, Destiny. Do me a favor, Destiny. Put your head back a bit. I want to see her call me out. Call me out on what I said. I said your faith was weak, right? Right, let's go there. You want to go back in the past to embarrass yourself again?
Do you want to scream? Is that what you want? Let's go. We on the street.
Oh
my God,
Go ahead. Call me out.
Get over
Call me out. You need to get over
yourself.
I'm not bringing back the past. We've been there.
Talk.
We've done that.
Auntie, let's
this is something different.
Okay.
Let's
I'm listening. Talk.
Please.
Talk.
Okay, guys,
Screaming match all the time.
Okay, guys.
All I'm just saying is clearly you even offended him. And I'm just saying, maybe sometimes just listen to people. When they're saying they're offended by what you say, maybe just stop and think, what
Tell
have
me
I said?
exactly what I said that offended him. Tell me exactly what I said.
Okay, guys. I'm gonna, guys. Esther, stop, Auntie, stop, Esther, Auntie, stop. Okay, we're gonna talk about anything else.
Wait, can I do a thing on the average thing real quick? Because we were talking about that for real.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah, can I add after you one bit I was going to say?
Well, it's not my show, so whatever's allowed. Okay, so the reason why when somebody calls somebody average, that's usually perceived to be an insult, right? I think we hear it that way, we give it that way. Nobody's ever told somebody that their average is like a nice thing to say to somebody. Now we can say that like, oh well, average is most people are average, kind of, but also not really, right? If you look at like an average person has 1.9 legs because some people are missing legs, but no human has 1.9 legs. You either have 2 or 1, right? When we look at who we are as people, there are some things that we excel at, and there are some things that we don't do anything at. So I think that's why we never feel average, right? Because we're above average, hopefully, at whatever our competency is in. So when you say that somebody's average, it's always going to be perceived as an insult. So I'm sure that Camilla or anybody else, you guys all had crazy degrees. You guys are all more educated than I am, right? I'm sure that on a whole, you might be an average person, but you're not going to perceive yourself that way because you push yourself forward in some areas that make you not average, and hopefully you're looking for other people that plug into those above average areas.
You know what? Can I just add a comment was made towards me being average? I just want to say, it's not about even my degree, it's not about my master's. It's about what I've overcome and achieved in this life that makes me a survivor and above average. I have been homeless on the street, and I'm sitting here today and not representing that. My struggle, my success makes me above average, and nobody can't tell me that I'm not. Because if that's what I need to tell myself to get up in the morning and do my shit, that's what's going to have to happen.
That's all well and good.
Okay, can I add on to that, please?
That's all well and good.
One second, I did want to say something.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro.
No, listen. One second. No, listen. Listen.
No, it's not your show. Shut up. Stop.
Don't listen. I never disrespect you. Do not disrespect me because I will not tolerate disrespect from no one. I'm not them, bro. What do you mean? You disrespected me, so I've got a reason. Don't talk to me like that, bro.
Okay. Stop. I just told you to stop. I just told you to stop talking.
Guys.
I was gonna give you a chance, but you can't. Come on.
Wow.
30 seconds. Go. Wow. 30 seconds, and then you. 30 seconds.
She just can't stop talking.
Go.
Can't stop.
Go.
Anyway, I can't remember. She just threw me off. Okay. I can't remember.
Okay.
It was just so funny.
Okay. Okay.
Like, I don't know what's going on in this.
We were talking about average. We were talking about being average.
It was an average conversation. It was an average conversation.
Guys.
All right, cool.
What was it? Oh, wait. Hold on. Guys.
No.
Listen, guys.
No, King.
Guys.
Stop it.
The mics are off now.
Guys.
Relax yourself, bro.
Yo. All right, guys. Okay. All right. Thank you. The first rule of the podcast: don't interrupt the host. Yeah, we're not going to tolerate that no more. If that happens, you gotta go. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Are we all cool with that?
Okay.
All right. Cool. Thank you. And no disrespectful stuff either. Thank you.
Okay. Wait. Okay. No. Stop. Okay. Thank you. We're going to go on to the next question. All right.
So, you know what? I'm going to leave. Okay. I'm not going to tolerate disrespect. This might be your platform, but respect people when they come on your platform.
Okay. Goodbye. Go. Okay. Because...
Listen, mind yourself, bro. You know what? I'm gonna rebound.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna rebound.
Okay.
I'm gonna rebound, bro.
I've disrespected you.
I disrespected you. You don't know who you're talking to.
How did I disrespect you?
Be careful. First thing you call me bro, and then he said
I call everyone bro. I have a show here and I call everyone bro. So that's why she's angry. You're angry because I called you bro. I called Auntie bro and she's right next to me.
No, Auntie hates it. Auntie hates it.
Wow.
Auntie's told you long time. Auntie hates it.
In here on the podcast, but there's the streets as well, bro, innit? Mind yourself, bro. Mind yourself. Yeah, you're damn right. You're damn right, bro. You're damn right. And I'm gonna see how fucked out you are. Yeah? You little mum.
Bro. Okay.
Disrespect. Because I called everyone bro.
Listen, don't call me bro, I don't know you.
So that's what you have to say, though. That's what you have to say.
You little mug.
But that's what you have to say. You're just embarrassing yourself.
I'm embarrassing myself.
I know. Do you know something, right? Do you know something, right? Excuse me. What's your name? Hello, young lady. What's your name? T. Do you know what I'm gonna do for the first time ever? I'm gonna fucking follow you. See you later.
Jesus.
I asked to speak before him.
Okay. Look at your issue. Stop. You're doing it again. Okay. Oh my god.
Mind who you're talking to.
Oh my god.
Don't disrespect me, bro.
Why are you making this
Blessing.
Because you're a mum. That's why you're a f***ing mum, bro.
Oh my.
And you're lucky we're in here. I'll smoke you myself, you little dickhead. You little prick, bro.
Wow.
I'll slap you myself in here, bro. You fucking dumb. You fucking little mug.
Wow.
Yeah, you're damn right, wow. Teach you a lesson next time you're fucking talking to you mug.
Young lady.
Little mug. I'm gonna see how gangster you are out here. I'm gonna hit you up. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit you up, bro.
This is live right now.
Hello,
This is live right now.
Let's go.
Little mug.
Wow. That's mad.
Little mug. I'll see you soon, bro. See you real soon, you little mug.
Shut your mouth. Let's go.
And you need to stop inviting people on here and disrespecting them because you think
You keep over talking. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Mug, you bitch. See you later.
Oh.
Talking pure shit. How many bodies you got?
Oh my god. Get out. Get out. Get the f out of my apartment. Get out. Oh my.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. Can I just, for my own safety, who are we allowed to call bro here, and who are we not allowed to call bro? I just want to know.
Get the fuck out. Lock the door. Blessing, go lock the other side too. Blessing, lock the fuck. Yo, the only reason was because she kept interrupting me. Jesus Christ. Look, I don't. Oh my god. What? Can you go check? Just go double check. Go.
No, but okay, that's fair enough. But listen, look at the difference.
That has never I've never had anyone lock off or kicked out.
I think best is we move on quick.
But think about it. What did I actually say that was disrespectful to her?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's saying I was disrespectful to her. How?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were antagonizing the situation. You kept going.
Okay. We're gonna guys. Okay.
Is she gonna be like waiting outside for her? Bro, I'm a little scared. I don't want to die in line.
You know what's crazy? We were supposed to have security. We were supposed to have security tonight, and it didn't. I was like,
nah, that's scary. I'm sorry. I was scared.
Yo, the only reason I was gonna let her talk is the crazy thing, but she kept interrupting me, and I was just like, if you're gonna keep interrupting me, you have to go. Like, I don't.
I don't think she could hear you, honestly. And you didn't call her name as well.
No, she could hear.
She just kept. No, she.
I give up. Wow. Back to business.
You know, Esther. They're saying that Esther's the sane one in this podcast.
Wow.
Okay.
I can't believe Auntie Jenny was worse than me. Just saying.
Okay, hold on. We shouldn't shit talk anybody if they're not
I'm
here.
not.
Okay.
I'm not trying
to be fair.
Look at. I didn't think anyone was that crazy until she started. Yeah. Okay. My next question. I actually didn't think it was that bad, but I guess.
I just want to know why she's so mad that I called her bro when I call everyone bro.
It's like it's just a respect thing. It's like your elders. Like I just would never.
I didn't know. She was old though. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just like I just wouldn't call people that. But I don't think
would you get that mad?
No, I don't think you meant it like that.
No, I think they were already upset, and then him saying "bro" was just like a timid. But if they were cool and they were calling each other "bro," I don't think they would.
You can sit either. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I think it's because you kept antagonizing the situation.
How?
She was like, "Don't call me bro." You're like, "All right, bro."
Did I?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't even think when I'm speaking, like it's just my vernacular. That's just how I speak, innit? Like, so I'm not even thinking like, oh yeah, I'm trying to push her buttons. Like all my thing is that let me say something, because at this point I've said the least out of everybody. Do you get what I'm saying? So I was just trying to have.
But Auntie said the most.
Yeah, but she wasn't the one talking. Yeah, but she wasn't the one talking
at that moment.
Okay. Exactly. Okay. That's the moment I'm talking about.
So we're gonna. I'm gonna try to go on to the next topic.
Yeah. What are we doing now?
Okay. So I was.
Are we still live? Are we still live?
Yeah, we're live. But that was
amazing.
Got a lot of good clips out of that one. Okay.
This is
clips is
mad.
This is the
most. That's gonna be on World
Can you turn this?
World Star Hip Hop.
This is too much.
Space yourself.
Yeah.
That was mad.
Oh, blessings telling that you guys to
Yeah.
you know Destiny. The crazy thing is, I've never had a kick out. I've made it a whole year almost. I've never had anyone walk out.
We brought that Miami energy back.
I know. I was like, what the hell? Oh my gosh.
Are we the Miami of Europe?
What?
Is London the Miami of Europe?
No. Okay.